Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated on all my future content. So this live stream is going to focus on adding fractions with unlike denominators using the butterfly method. Our first example problem is 1/2 plus 1/9. I'm going to go through step by step how to solve that problem. Now, as I've said on previous videos, you cannot add fractions if they have different denominators. So the first step to solving this problem is to find a common denominator. And an efficient way to find a common denominator is to multiply the two separate denominators. So we're going to multiply 2 times 9. 2 times 9 equals 18. So 18 is our common denominator. So if I want to rewrite the problem here, we have our common denominator of 18. Now to get our numerators, we have to multiply each numerator times the opposite denominator. So we are going to multiply 1 times 9, and then we are going to multiply 2 times 1. So 1 times 9 equals 9. 2 times 1 equals 2. Then to get our final answer, we have to add our two new numerators together. So we have 9/18 plus 2/18. So now that we have a common denominator, we can simply add our numerators. 9 plus 2 equals 11. And we have our final answer. 1/2 plus 1/9 equals 11/18. Moving on to the next example problem. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. It's the Mr. C. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. Shout out to Mr. C. All right, so our next example problem is 1/5 plus 1/12. So step 1, we find the common denominator. And we find a common denominator by multiplying our two separate denominators. So we're going to multiply 5 times 12. 5 times 12 equals 60. So 60 is our common denominator. Next, we have to multiply each numerator times the opposite denominator. 1 times 12 equals 12. 5 times 1 equals 5. So now we have our two new numerators. So if we want to fully write out the problem here, we have 12/60 plus 5/60. Twelve plus 5 equals 17. Now that we have a common denominator, we leave the bottom number the same. And we have our final answer. 1/5 plus 1/12 equals 17/60. All right, moving on to example problem number 3. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. It's the Mr. C. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. Shout out to Mr. C. All right, next example problem. We have 3/4 plus 2/10. So step 1, we multiply our two separate denominators to find a common denominator. 4 times 10 equals 40. So 40 is our common denominator. Next, we have to multiply each numerator times the opposite denominator. Three times 10 equals 30. 4 times 2 equals 8. So we now have our two numerators here, 30 plus 8. So if we want to fully write out the problem with the common denominator, we have 30 40ths plus 8 40ths. (30 plus 8 equals 38). Now that we have a common denominator, it can stay the same. And we have our answer, 3/4 plus 2/10 equals 38 40ths. Now, this is not our final answer because 38 40ths can be reduced to lowest terms. It can be simplified, but usually I keep the reducing fractions to lowest terms. I usually make that its own video. So for all intents and purposes, this will be our answer for example 3. 3/4 plus 2/10 equals 38 40ths. Possibly on another live stream, I'll model how to reduce 38 40ths to lowest terms. All right, example number 4 now. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. It's the Mr. C. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. Shout out to Mr. C. All right, example problem number 4. Five ninths plus 2/5. So, to find a common denominator, we multiply our two separate denominators. 9 times 5 equals 45. Next, we multiply each numerator times the opposite denominator. 5 times 5 equals 25. 9 times 2 equals 18. So now we have 25 45ths plus 18 45ths. So 25 plus 18 equals 43. And we have our final answer. 5 ninths plus 2/5 equals 43 45ths. All right, moving on to the final example problem of the video. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. It's the Mr. C. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. Shout out to Mr. C. All right, 7/8 plus 1/12. So step 1, we find a common denominator by multiplying our two separate denominators. 8 times 12 equals 96. Next, we multiply each numerator times the opposite denominator. 7 times 12 equals 84. 8 times 1 equals 8. Next, we have to add both our numerators together. 84 plus 8 equals 92. And we have our answer, 7/8 plus 1/12 equals 92 96th. Now again, this is not our final answer. This answer is not in lowest terms. This fraction can be reduced, but I prefer to keep the reducing fractions to lowest terms to a separate video. I prefer to make that a live stream in itself. So this is the final answer we're going to go with for this live stream. On a future live stream, I may reduce 92, 96 to lowest terms. That is my video for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video. And if there is an area of math or reading that you're having difficulty with, put that in the comments and I will try to do a future video on that skill. Until next time, this is Mr. Camilleri signing off.